All right, thank y'all for coming this morning as we talk about this most important topic of renovating and restoring our sanctuary. Just to kind of start off with a couple pieces from our mission statement. Really what we're here to do. We're here to exalt God, prepare people, and share Christ. And if you think about it, our endeavor is really not new. We're reclaiming what we've always been called to do, to center our worship on Christ, to focus our efforts on ministry, and to make sure that the next generation, my children, your grandchildren, come to know and love and serve our great God. I think y'all would agree with me. We are blessed to have such a history in this church. It really goes back to 10 members that stepped out on faith in 1873. And I want to read from Luke chapter 5, verse 5. And Simon answering said unto him, Master, we have toiled all the night and have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at thy word I will let down that net. And those 10 charter members of the First Missionary Baptist Church in Morehead City said, the little band constituting the new church that day let down the net and launched into the deep. And that's really what we're talking about, continuing the tradition of us stepping out on faith and the Lord blessing those efforts. A couple key times in history when that happened was obviously in 1873, 143 years ago when this church was founded. 1949 when church congregation grew to the point that, hey, we need a Sunday school building to really study the Bible away from the church hour. And then again in 1969 when the education building was full and there were so many children in the church, we built a building kind of dedicated for Sunday school to make sure we have a place for children to come and learn about Jesus Christ. Two examples of stepping out on faith, and the Lord has blessed this church for that. I'll take us to 2007 when this church body, 1995 when the Family Life Center was built at a cost of $1.7 million. And I might add it was paid off early. And that's something that directly benefits me and my family and the ministries that we're a part of. Speaking a little bit about ministry in the church, I mentioned the Family Life Center, and many of you know I'm involved in upward basketball with my daughter, and what a blessing that's been for us to spend time together and to get to know Jesus Christ better together as a family. Many of you in this room, just like me, are involved in a lot of ministry opportunities from children's age all the way up to senior adults. We've got so many things, and we're so fortunate as a church that we're blessed to have all these ministry opportunities. All right, now to the reason why we're here today.
Actually, if you'll take the right ones and let your host do the left ones.
Okay. All right. If you think about it, if you go back and look into the Bible, Moses had his rod, David had his sling, and we have our sanctuary. Within our sanctuary, spiritual battles are fought and won, and in the sanctuary, Jesus Christ is invoked, encountered, and honored. And I also like to think by our pastor, Jesus is invited into every church hour, accepted, and followed as well. So let's look at the proposed plans a little bit. The choir loft is enlarged, and if you notice, there's a new way to get up into the choir loft. It's enlarged, and there's an attached entry. It's been redesigned to make sure that people of all ages, anyone in a wheelchair will have an opportunity to come up into the choir loft as well. We're going to enhance the audiovisual equipment to make sure that God's Word is communicated clearly and effectively. One thing we're really excited about is the addition of a new digital organ that hasn't been replaced in 40 years, 45 years, something like that. It's in the 70s, 45 years. One thing that I think is really interesting that may have caught your eye is that we're going to reverse the orientation of the sanctuary, which is going to greatly reduce the distractions. If you think about now when Pastor Nate's preaching, you know, a lot of our kids are running in and out, going to the bathroom, and we're focused on the kids. We're not focused on the sermon, and so the message may get lost sometimes.
We've even had some seniors say that they just don't come to services anymore because of having to leave and be a distraction.
Okay.
I tie the children and the seniors right together.
Okay.
We'll get everybody now
All right.
at one point.
So many of you will notice that the children are coming from here, going to the front of the sanctuary now, which is really distracted. And a lot of our senior population have said they don't even come to church now, concerned about that, having to pass by every member in the church, pass by the preacher on the way to the restroom. In the new proposal, any of our seniors or our handicapped congregational members can sit right here, go right out the back door, right into a multi-stall new bathroom that'll be into a welcome center that we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. This new version also eliminates having the main entry of the church right at the outdoors, so that when it's raining, our congregational members don't have to come in and go right into the sanctuary. They'll have an opportunity to come into here, which we'll discuss in a few minutes, in a climate-controlled area and walk right into the sanctuary, this is a heated and air-conditioned space, which is comfortable. A couple other things that will allow us to really be focused on the ministries of this church is having a multi-stalled, handicap-accessible bathroom, again at the rear of the sanctuary, allowing those people that need to use the facilities an opportunity to do so without feeling like they're a distraction. Again, the choir loft is enlarged, and allowing many different kinds of worship opportunities, and handicap accessible as well on the sides here. One thing that's really nice for our seniors and for anyone that's potentially in a wheelchair, every other pew will have inconspicuous seating for a wheelchair and for handicap accessible, and won't be pushed into a corner like they may be at this point. The doorways and the hallways are enlarged so that there's no bottleneck as there currently is. If you think about now when we're coming between Sunday school and worship service, you know, if we shake hands with someone, we try to stop, then we back up the whole process coming both ways. And so this will allow us a large area to really congregate. And as we're going to talk about this Welcome Center in a little bit, what a great area to be able to have a conversation with our favorite pastor and have a cup of coffee there. One of the new things that this plan also does for us is there is an elevator that's centrally located right here outside of the offices. If you think about now where our elevator is, no one really uses it because it's tied to the Family Life Center, so anyone that comes in that way has to come in around the bottleneck, go to the elevator, go upstairs, and then continue to walk all the way down to their Sunday school classes, which is why it doesn't get used a whole lot.
I would do it from back here.
Yeah. Okay.
Your remote's not doing it.
So here's our elevator in our proposed plan. People come into the Welcome Center, walk right to the elevator, are able to go upstairs right near their Sunday school class. Save a lot of steps. One of the best things I like about this plan are the pews are going to be adequately spaced. They're going to be comfortable. They're going to have a few more inches for us to spread our feet. And for any of us that are larger people, what a blessing that's going to be. All right, I've been kind of alluding to you a little bit about the Welcome Center. The Welcome Center really is going to allow us to continue our ministry focus if you can picture from the Bible, you know, this church is here with open hands, open hearts, and open doors. Biblical hospitality has the power to encourage, comfort, and change lives as we welcome people into a relationship with Jesus Christ. And they can start at our Welcome Center here. This proposed Welcome Center is about 2,100 square feet. So if you think about it, it can accommodate about 100 people, which would be great for small gatherings such as visitations prior to a funeral, you know, receptions, recitals. Be a great place for a bride to get ready for, you know, a wedding, which we host a lot of there. So during office hours and on Sundays, this area there'll be a greeter here stationed to again welcome people. And it'll be very evident, as you can see from some of the renderings here, this will be the main focal point where people will enter First Baptist Church now. What a great place for fellowship between the 8:30, 11 o'clock services, between the Sunday school hours, and as I mentioned, possibly a great place to grab a cup of coffee with your friends. Also going to be an opportunity to have a kiosk type setup where we'll have latest sermon series, Sunday school literature, some books by your favorite authors as well. So.
Now, as you hand me that board, take them to the inside of the Welcome Center.
Okay. All right. And if you'll notice, the Welcome Center here is an inside rendering of the Welcome Center. And what a beautiful area this is going to be with 2 stories of glass. All the sunshine's going to be coming in here, and the amount of room. And this is just a possible, you know, rendering of what this will look like. And again, here on the ends will be 2 separate restrooms with multi-stalls that are handicap accessible as well. One thing that this plan really addresses is not just our wants, but it addresses our needs, the nuts and bolts of the church that we as a congregation have got to fix to leave an opportunity for the next generation to even have a place to worship. Some of the things that are included in this plan that are of utmost importance: the electrical system is replaced and is brought up to code. The stained glass windows that are on the sides of the church, they're beautiful from the inside, but you can't see them from the outside now. So we're going to take them out, refurbish them, and put them back in. Seating capacity is increased. If you'll notice, we've added some seating as well. As I mentioned, the structural issues, we're going to take care of those. There's not going to be any paints or beams or lights or anything falling. No pews going to be cracking, all that kind of good stuff. The pews are going to be all new, or repaired, or refurbished.
They're not gonna be new, they're gonna be refurbished.
Pews are going to be repaired and going to be refurbished and going to be comfortable. And any non-functioning lighting is obviously going to be fixed as well. All right, so the main question, I know many of you are saying, this is great. Where do we sign up? Just a little bit on the cost of this project, you know. Some of the things we've been talking about throughout this past few minutes. We're going to renovate the 1949 building. We're going to renovate the sanctuary, the restrooms, the stained glass. The electricity is going to get up to code. We'll have a new welcome center, which we're going to use in ways that we don't even think about right now. We're going to make sure the roof's in good shape. We're going to replace the organ. So really a comprehensive program that we focused on is going to be somewhere between $3.1 and $3.5 million.
A little more excitement. All of this.
All of this for only $19.95.
And a bamboo steamer.
That's right.
Goes down.
Okay. All right, just something to keep in mind, the fine print. You know, everything we've shown you here is just plans and renderings, and the comments that you share on the questionnaire that we've given out to you is really what's going to drive.
That we will give out to you.
That we will give out to you is really going to drive the final plans should we move forward with this project. The readiness assessment, which is part of the questionnaire, will be prepared by Mr. Jim Collins, our quote company associate,